birds. There's a bird very every. There's a bird. There are birds every 10 minutes. There's a bird every 10 minutes. There's birds every. There's a bird. Yes. There are birds every 30 minutes. There are birds 30 minutes. I think it's take many times to wait. It's take many times to wait. So I think you should to go by taxi. It's confident. Yes, there's a bird. Yes, there's a bird. There is a bird, but it's yes, there is a bus every 30 minutes, so it takes you many times. It takes you a lot of times. So it takes you a lot of time. So I think you should to go by taxi. Yeah, it's very covered. I could like to visit. I'd like visit. I could like to visit. I could like to visit. I'd like to visit every country. Every country. I could like to visit every country. I could like to. I'd like to visit every countries in the country. Every country in the country. Every country in the world. In the world. I'd like to visit every country. I'd like to visit many countries in the world. Yes, the other. The insurance office was on the one side or on the other side of the trees. Another. I must find myself another job. I must find myself. I must find myself. I must find myself another job. I must find myself another job. I must find myself another job. The other lên từ suy nghĩ cái còn lại phần còn lại. The other. When I returned home, I found my wife talking to our neighbor. The other guests had gone. The other guests had done. When I return my home, when I return home, I found my wife. I found my wife talking to our neighbor.
Neighbor.
When I returned home, I found my wife talking. I found my wife talking to our neighbor. The other guest has gone. The other guest had gone. Neither restaurant is expensive. Both, neither, and either. Both men were interested in the job. Were interested. Both men were interested in the job. Both men were interested in the job. Both men were interested in the job.
Both men were interested in the job.
Both men were interested in the job. Were. Both men were interested in the job. Both men were interested in the job. Neither restaurant is expensive. Both restaurant. Neither restaurant is expensive. Neither restaurant is expensive. We can go to either restaurant at mine. We can go to either restaurant. We can go to either restaurant at don't mind. If you don't mind, we can go. We can go to eat the restaurant. I don't mind. A large number of much a good deal of a large quantity of what mean quantity so
Quantity.
quantity
Quantity.
quantity 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 Somebody is bored. If something is boring, if something is boring, it makes you bored. It makes you bored.
Bored.
Bored. If something is boring, it makes you bored. It makes you. If something is boring, I think if something is boring. If something is boring, it makes you bored. Julia thinks politics. Julia thinks about politics.
Politics.
Politics. Politics. Politics. Politics.
Politics.
Politics. Politics. Politics. Politics. Politics. Julia thinks politics is very interesting. Julia think politics. Julia think politics is very interesting. It was quite surprising. It was quite surprising that he passed. It was quite interesting. It was quite surprising that he passed the examination. Examination.
Examination.
Examination. Examination.
Examination.
Examination. It was quite surprising. It was quite surprising that he passed the examination. He passed the examination. Julius is very interested in politics. Julia's very excited. Julia very interested in Julia is very interested in politics. Julia is very interested in politics. Very interested in the. Julia is very interested in the politics. Julia is very interested in politics. Everybody was surprised. Everybody was surprised. Everybody was surprised that he. Everybody was surprised that surprised. It was quite surprising that he passed the examination. Julia is very interested in politics. politics. Julia is very interested in politics. Everybody was surprised that he passed the examination. Everybody was interested in. Everybody was surprising that he passed the examination. The hot cold, the cold.
wool,
Wall. A wall cold.
gold,
A gold watch. A history teacher. A history teacher. We took a 5-week tour. The student wrote a report.
wrote,
The student wrote a report that was 10-page long. That was 10 page long. That student wrote a 10-page report. The student wrote a 10-page report. Report. 10-page report. 10-page report.
page,
That student wrote. That student wrote That student wrote a 10-page report. That student wrote a 10-page report. He's a nice man. Do you see the small green ball? So do you see the small green ball, which has such an old shape?
shape,
Do you know the small green boat which has such an old shape? Odd shape. Odd people. There's very odd people. There's something odd about that man. That painting looks very odd. I'll tell you something interesting. I will tell you something interesting. I will tell you some interesting. I will tell you some interesting in something. I will tell you something interesting. Like, is there anything? Is there anything new? Is there anything new? My father, happy and tired, kissed me goodnight. Complement of the verb. Lightning verb. The weather becomes cold. The weather becomes cold. He looked mature. Mature.
Mature. Mature.
Mature. He looked mature. He looked mature. Sober. He looked mature, sober. He looked mature, sober. Come. Come. He looked mature. He looked mature. He looked
Mature.
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 Mature. He looked mature. Sober. He looked mature, sober, and calm.
Sober.
Sober. He looked mature, sober, and calm. He looked mature. Yes, she looked mature, sober, and calm. So I think you can believe him. She looked mature. She looked mature, sober, and calm. I think you can believe you can believe her. I think you can believe her. Because she looked mature, sober. He looked mature, sober, and calm. She wore her hair short. We should keep our room clean. You should keep our room clean and tidy. You should keep our room tidy. You should keep our room clean and tidy. Her hair was jet blonde. The vegetables were raw. The vegetable was raw the way he liked.
Raw.
The vegetable was raw. The vegetable the vegetable was raw the way he liked. My brother lives in a nice new house. In the kitchen there's a beautiful large round wooden table. A nice long summer holiday. An interesting young man. An interesting young man. They export a lot of fruit. Export a lot of fruit. Export a lot of fruit.
export,
Export.
export,
They export a lot of fruits. They export a lot of
export,
they export a lot of fruits such as oranges, lemons, etc. They export a lot of fruits. They export a lot of vegetables such as radish, lemon, onion. They export a lot of fruits such as oranges, lemons, apples. They export a lot of fruit such as orange, lemons, apple. Same some other. I found her just the same as before. I found her just the same as before. Indefinite pronoun. Somebody, someone, something. There's somebody at the door. I have got something to tell you. I've got something to tell you. I've got something to tell you. What's wrong with you? Have you got something in your eyes? Have you got something in your eye? I see something in your eyes. What's wrong with you? I see something. What's wrong with you? I see something is. I see. What's wrong with you? Have you got something in your eyes? What's wrong with you? Have you got something in your eyes? Would you like something to drink? 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 What's wrong with you? Have you got something in your eye? Have you got something? Have you got something in your eye? I see something in your eye. Anybody, anything. Is there anybody in your room? Is there anybody in the room? I'm very tired now. I don't want to eat anything. I'm very tired now. I'm very tired now. I don't want to eat anything. Anything. If any has any questions, if anyone has any questions, I will be pleased to answer them. I will be pleased to answer them. I will be pleased to answer them. If anyone has any questions, I will be pleased to answer them. No worry, no one. What did you say? Nothing. Nothing. What did you say? Nothing. Nobody came to Nobody came to visit me when I was in the hospital. No one came to visit me when I was hospital. When I was in hospital. Nothing. Nobody. She didn't tell anybody about her plans. He didn't tell anybody. Uh, she didn't tell anybody about her plan. The house is empty. There's nobody living here. The house is empty. There's nobody live here. There's nobody living here. There's nobody living here. Nothing. He said nothing. Nobody tells me anything. Nobody phoned this day. No one in the class did her work. No one in the class did their homework. The party was a disaster. 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 The party was a disaster. Nobody enjoys themselves. What did it say? Nothing. Nobody came to visit me when I was in the hospital. Who's that? Okay,